What would be the top three pieces of advice that you would give to someone who is currently considering becoming an Action Coach franchise partner?
Oh, dang. Number one, understand why you're doing this. What is it that you're trying to get away from in the corporate world or in your other businesses or in your life or in whatever it is? A lot of people, when they come to making a decision around joining a franchise, they just look at the franchise. And that should be about 20% of your analysis. The actual business itself shouldn't be the majority of what you look at. What you should look at is, who are you? What are your skills? What is it you don't like doing? And where are you going to? Like where you've been and where you're going to. Like we get a lot of people who come to us who are ex-corporates and they're just sick and tired of being road warriors away from home, or they're sick and tired of building wealth for someone else, or they're sick and tired of, there's a lot of things where you say to them, what are you done with in that whole environment? Well, I don't want to be in this. I don't want the backstabbing. I don't want the politics. I don't, all those things that they don't want. It's like, get very clear on that, because joining Action Coach or getting into any business is change, and people hate change. As much as they say they want change, when it comes down to like you looking at a new software system, let's say, and you're about 80% of the way through making that decision to the software system. And when it comes to that last 20%, you know what the human psyche does? It starts looking for reasons not to. And it's like, yeah, I know we need change and I know we need to invest in our future. And then you get to that point of, holy shoot, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to, do you know what I mean? And that's what happens. And so even a lot of people, when they're looking at us, I always say, when you're 80% of the way there, pull the trigger. One way or the other. You're in or out at 80%. You can't know everything until you're in, type thing. I think the second thing I would say to someone looking to join our organization is meet the people. Get to know who we are, because who we are and why we do what we do is more important than what we do. Who we are as a team, our culture, our vision, our mission, the why and the who is more important to all of us that are on the team than the actual what we do. What drives and this is where it's funny when people join Action Coach, they're like, everyone wants to help me. Yes, you know why? Because by nature, people that join a business coaching organization, their natural desire is to help. It is, if you do the Y.io survey, their natural want is to be a helper and make things better and fix things. And you know what I mean? That's just their nature. It's like people who get into nursing have a natural desire to care for people. People who get into business coaching have a natural desire to help and a natural desire to coach, which sometimes is annoying when you go to the bar at conferences and you say, dude, it's not a coaching session. We're just here having a drink at the bar. All right, stop. Because, that does happen when everyone starts coaching each other. It's one of the unique things when you first join Action Coach and you go home and your teenage kids look at you and go, please stop coaching me. Okay, I'm not one of your clients. I did not pay you to coach me. And it's even worse when your spouse says that to you, type thing. It's like, do I look like your coaching client? Nope. Sorry, honey. Forgot about that. I'm not at work anymore. I'm now at home. Okay, got it. So I think that's a big thing. And the third thing is just do your planning. Do your planning. Actually sit down and work it out. Because when you reverse engineer it, when I sit with a prospect that's looking to join our organization, I say, well, okay, tell me, what's your income replacement model? How much you got to do to replace your income? What's your goal income? And what's your pie in the sky amazing income type thing? And when you work out the replacement, you say, okay, let's work it out. Here's our one-to-one clients. Here's our group clients. This is the average price you'll get for that. How many of them do you need? And therefore, how many people do you need to have spoken to get income replacement? And it's very clear. They say, okay, I need to speak to this many people and convert this many and have this many sales, and I've got income replacement covered. Fantastic. How fast can you speak to that many people determines how fast you'll get income replacement. Okay, here's your real goal. Okay, this is what you really want to make. Great. How many people? How fast can you speak to that many people? Okay, and what budget will you need in marketing to speak to that many people? Either you're willing to knock on doors or you're willing to shelve out cash. One way or the other, you got to do something to speak to that many people type thing. And then ultimate goal, what do you got to do that? And so when you sit with someone and they work that out and they know, okay, to hit my money goal, I got to speak to this many people. Then that's your job. Just go speak to that many people. It's not complex. And again, your numbers in the beginning are going to be nowhere near your numbers in a year's time and nowhere near your numbers in 2 years and 3 years' time. For me, if I sit in front of a prospect, I'm 100% conversion. I don't sit in front of a prospect who's not ready to buy. It's like in our onboarding process of clients, you've all been through the 13 steps, yeah? Okay, so in that onboarding process, when you look at going having a coffee with them, when you look at going to their business, doing a walk around, seeing their business, when you look at them coming to you, and you're building that relationship with those people, you've got to get them before the actual diagnostic, before the meeting where you're going to ask them to actually make a decision. You got to get them 80% ready to buy before that meeting. If you go into that meeting and they're only 20% ready to buy, that meeting's hard. If you haven't spent 7 hours with them before that meeting is going to be really tough. I want you to have done 7 hours prior to that meeting so they're ready to buy. When you walk in, they're like, okay, how do we start? They're asking to buy. You know, you're not there to sell. You're there to coach. You're there to help. And if they see you as anything other than a help or a coach, then you've missed the mark way back when. Why do we do this? Why do we get them to fill in the questionnaire? So we know their needs, wants, and desires. Why do we ask them questions multiple times? Why do we have a coaching session with them, coach on deck session with them before we actually do it so that they experience coaching? They know what it is. They know what they're buying. They know what it feels like. They know you. They've got to know, like, and trust you type thing. But you got to know, like, and trust them too. People seem to think it's they've got to know, like, and trust me. No, you've got to know, like, and trust them. If you don't like them, they're not signing up. You know why? Because they know you don't like them in that meeting. They're like, why is there a level of disdain in your voice? Because you're a jerk. You treat your staff bad, and I don't really want to be your coach, but I'm here to sell you. No, don't go and see that person. It's not going to work. Now, later on, when you got a team of people, you can sell that person, right? Because one of your team will like that person. One of your team will have the nature to coach that person. Like there are some coaches out there that love coaching jerks. And because they get a high by turning that jerk into a decent human being. I don't like coaching jerks anymore. I like coaching people who are great humans, doing great stuff, believe in philanthropy, believe in building their people. That's what I love coaching.